Namaste. In this video, so many, there is a book which I have written, and many people are asking meanings which we have mentioned the meanings of the content which we are discussing in this particular book in the form of index here. So many people were writing me and asking, Arun, can you explain these particular meanings which you have mentioned at the index of this particular book? Um, so the write-ups was too many, emails was too many. So I thought of doing a particular video about the index of this particular book, what we are discussing. So that is the reason why I am doing this particular video. In this, I would love to explain the meanings which is being described in the index of this particular book. So the first one is the Kali. Kali is the black goddess, and she, if we look into her imagery, it is like it's a kind of a fearsome goddess, like it's so black, and there is a skull around her neck, and her tongue is too much, and it's dripping in blood, and also she has something in her hand. It's to collect the blood which is coming oozing out from the enemy, and she also has a knife in her other hand which is for killing. So also, if we look into that imagery, we can also see that she is a loving mother also. So Kali is showcased as a fearsome goddess. Same time, she is a loving mother. This is something like this is something, the way which we have to look into the life in a, in a much deeper sense. When we look into life in much deeper sense, if we really need to live the life in at its fullest, there is something which is scary that we have to overcome in order to live the life in complete and fully. So this is how the Kali goddess is been described. My next book is more about that actually, and if you, and also we can go a bit more deeper in the ideology of the Kali, which symbolizes. Like if we look into this particular ideology in a much more deeper sense, we know that Carl Jung and all these kind of neo psychological inventions, like when we go very deep into the mind, these are the people who made a very deep analysis into human mind, and they found out something which is like subconscious. So the Kali is in our subconscious, like in spiritual work, what we call it as, like it is also known as shadow work. When we do the shadow work, we really go really deep into the subconscious imprints which is there in our mind, and this philosophical and psychological aspect of mind which we analyze, that will come out. So this is how the Kali, the real ideology or the real philosophy behind the Kali is being given, and this is how we have to look into the ideology of the Kali as a whole. So this is the ideology of the Kali, the goddess, and she is also a feminine symbol for the neo, I mean the neo women, that the modern women which they are living, like, they have to do so many things, like, go to the offices, go to the schools, and go to the colleges, or whatever. So there, all these places, there is something which is residing inside them that is not yet been touched, that has to be accelerated. This is the symbolism of the Kali. Kali is actually showcasing. So this is the first word which starts with, and the second one is Ishavasya. Ishavasya is an Upanishad. Okay, Ishavasya Upanishads talk about Ishavasya. It starts like this way: Ishavasya idam sarvam na kinchanyam jagatyam jagat, which means that the world is God itself. Like, the one of the podcast which I have done, in which I'm talking the ideology, the creator is the creation itself. It's not a new idea. It comes from, if we analyze the Upanishads in a much more deeper sense, this is the place where we will go. Isha Vasim Idam Sarvam, that this entire universe, or the entire stuff, is an absolute, and that is nothing but the God, and the God is nothing but the creation, and the creation is the creator itself. So this is where we conclude. Shakteyam. Shakteyam is a particular, the third word which in this book, which is describing in the index, that is Shakteyam. Shakteyam is the type of, like, we can call it as a subdivision in the collective which we are speaking, or which it is showing us Hinduism. It's a collective, like, collective in the sense, this has been deeply described in the one of the chapter here, like, collective in the sense, like, if we look into the open source repo, there is canonicals as the different companies around this particular open source repo, and everybody will be having one fork of this particular code base. So this is the way the canonicals works. So similar way, if we look into the ideology or the philosophy or the collective which the other people, the West, calls as Hinduism, has many subdivision. So in that particular division one of those particular division is known as Shakteyas, those who believe, those who worship the Kundalini energy, which is nothing but the energy which creates, that is feminine. So in Shakteyas, worships are mostly centered around feminine deities such as Kali, Tara, Shodasi, and all the Dashavidyas and other goddesses and stuffs like that. When we come to the fourth word, which talk about psychic, this is an interesting word which we really need to know. Like, what is a psychic? If we analyze our own self, if we analyze and we go deeper in our own inside, there are multiple layers of existence. Mind can be unveiled one by one. So what happens? The last reaching point just before the absolute is the place where we reach and where we get where we experience the nirvikalpa samadhi. So that is called absolute, that center point. And before reaching this absolute point, before reaching this particular absolute point, the person will become a psychic in the sense he can read many stuffs around him, he can actually understand things around him, he can actually do the things, and he can actually get the things done according to what is right. So this particular peoples, like, they may show the ability to read mind, they may show the ability to predict future. These kind of peoples are known as psychics are like, the in yogic tradition, this particular term is also known as siddhis. So before reaching the absolute point, the peoples will become psychic. So they will show their action might be seen to, like, their action can be seen by other people as as extra or supernatural abilities and things like that. So left path. So if we look into the Shaktic tradition, in Tantric tradition, there is two kind of Tantric traditions are existing. One is left path Tantrika and right path Tantrika. So the left path Tantrika is much more extreme than that of the right hand. Like, right hand where the tantric things are being performed with where the society can accept. That is the way the right hand tantrikas works. And left hand tantrikas, if you look into that, if you really go deep into that, these peoples will behave so differently from what the right hand tantrikas are behaving. So if we look into the agoris, like, they beg and they sit into the corpse of people, they eat human flesh and things like that, like, those who are dead, and they smoke a lot of weed and they dance with Shiva in extreme sense. These peoples are like left path tantrikas. So right path, the next word is right path tantrika, which we have explained, which we have discussed in this particular thing. Then yoni. Yoni is a if we look into the pratishtha, there is Shiva and the lingam and yoni. This is how the Shivalinga is being represented. Like, yoni yoni is a Sanskrit term which may sounds like, vagina, but this is the place where all the creations comes out. So that is why it is called as yoni. And if we analyze the Sanskrit understanding for this particular term, this is where we will actually go. And the next word, which that is eighth one, which is described in this particular book, is deity. What is a deity, and how can you call something as a deity? If we look into the culture of this Indus Valley civilization, we in this particular culture, they never believed in God. Okay, rather they consecrated the human creatable energy, which is tantric energy, into a particular sport or a celestial or a particular collective or a particular area with the suitable mantras, suitable construction method, suitable sandrum, all those things we have. These people are consecrated in a particular place, and this particular energy will exhibit the ability of someone who can actually grant their wishes. So this is called as a deity. So we can actually, if we, for example, like, if we look into a particular deity and give and we imagine some kind of shapes, form, and the energy to that particular place and celestial place, so it will exhibit the ability to do things according to the situations which is happening. So this is called as a deity, and there are multiple deities in India, like, there are a lot, like there are, some of them are in human shape, some of them are in animal shape, some of them are in celestial shape, some of them are in, like, whatever the shapes, like some of them are trees, some of them are rivers, some of them are stones and things like that. So if we concentrate in a particular way and particular form into this particular place, it will exhibit a certain kind of energy, and if you go there, it will accelerate your mind and it can remove a lot of obstacles from your mind, so that it might feel like, you can achieve the things which you want in your life. So this is called as deity. Now the ninth theme is India metaphysic. Metaphysics is like, we know, like, what is beyond physics. This is metaphysics is a kind of seeking methods where we try to analyze what is beyond physics. Is there something is existing beyond the things beyond the visual words? Is there something is existing? So we seek, that is a branch of science called as metaphysics. So there is an India metaphysics which is called as Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. So we can translate it as India metaphysics. So this is where we can actually this is so in Advaita Vedanta, somebody who has studied Vedanta, they can actually understand Uttamimamsa, Dakshinamimamsa, and if all these things, if we analyze, we can actually understand it is seeking something beyond the visual world with resonating, and it will come out as with the experience. So this particular branch of science is called as India metaphysics. Padas. So padas is the terms which has been mostly used in the astrology, actually, like is a spiritual mathematics, like, one can be divided into four, like quarter. So this quarter is known as pada, like but the one when we divide 1 into 4, the mathematics which we use in a general living, it's always like it has a limited quantity. Like for example, 1 divided by 4 is also equal to 2 minus 1 divided by 4, right? But when we get into the nakshatras, each nakshatra's quantity will be different. Like for example, Ashwati is different from Bharani, Kartika is different from Bharani. So there is a difference in the nakshatras, in each nakshatras. So 1 by 4, the padas may not be always same. Mantra is the word which we utter to praise this particular deity, or evoke this particular deity, or work with this particular deity which we have described. Vajrayana is the branch of a Buddhism, basically. Vajrayana, like the word which is given is like, the diamond vehicle. We can call it as a diamond vehicle. So it's a branch of Buddhism. It's a subdivision of the Buddhism. Maya. So the 13th word is, we call this is Maya. The Maya is the see, what is the easiest way to live in this particular world? Imagine this particular world is a simulation. Modern science also is thinking in that particular way, like the modern the world can be a simulation. Imagine, so what if the world is a simulation? So then this is called a maya. So that is why we call it as a maya. This is the easiest way to live the life for anyone, because this is just maya. So don't be get too attached to that. Like Mahayana, this is the another branch of Buddhism, and the next one is Ramanujan. Ramanujan is one of the best genius which came out from India, and he can solve any mathematical problem very fast. How he was used to do that? How, like somebody, people just asked him how you can able to solve any mathematical problems in very fast way. So he always says it's all blessings of goddess. He don't know how he is able to solve. This is the exact point which we are looking into. So this the knowledge which is comes from within. So this is where the genius of the Ramanuja is need to be praised and need to be understood. So this is the word which Ramanuja is the person which we are describing more about him in the book. Vaidayananda. The next one is Prakriti. Prakriti is the ultimate nature of the core feminine. So this is the prana shakti, like the ultimate energy which resides in every being, and this is what we call it as Kundalini, and anybody can evoke this in their own body with very focused practice. Next one is Purusha. Purusha, like if we see the world, it is the if we see the programming, it is 1 and 0. All the code base and everything is comes out into the all the softwares, and everything is combinations of ones and zeros. This is just logics. The similar way, the entire universe is the combinations of ones and zeros. Like it's either dead or either alive, and it's either male or either female. So Prakriti and Purusha, and what we see is the dance of these both. Albert Camus, he was a person, he was a philosopher. And the next word which we are talking is Kalpa. Kalpa is 100 millennium in cosmic mathematics. Like one Kalpa is a time of Brahma. So what is the one Kalpa for him? It is like a 1 millennium in according to the time according to the human beings. Sutra. The next one is Sutra. Sutras are the philosophical term for a particular word. Like the sutras. Sutras means it's a key. It's a key which is given from the guru to the disciple in some certain way. So it's not just like it's not given just directly. It's called sutras. So it's given in a particular way, and it's went to the the disciple's mind. So this is called sutra, and each sutras are having immense amount of knowledge. And next word is samsara. Samsara is the place, is the thing what we are actually every day we are doing. We are living our life, we are doing that thing, this thing, we are getting married, we may die, we may have kids, or may build business, we may destroy business, we may build this thing, that thing, these things. All this is belongs in samsara. So this is where the things happens, and we do the samsaras. Albert Camus, this is another person. Rashi is the chakras which we are seeing, which we are putting in the Indian Vedic astrology. Navamsha, it's a division. Navamsha, all these 12, each in Rashi Chakram it is been divided into 12. Each place will be again divided into 9. So this is, each one will be having, that is called a Navamsha. Nava means 9. So the subdivisions of 12 by 9 is the Navamsha. And next one is Rahu. Rahu is a planet. Thank you for watching, and we will be discussing more of these words in the upcoming videos.